Okay, are we ready? Hooray! This is session 2, recording in progress. This is our 5-minute review of what we covered today. So today is session 2. We were talking about algorithms and equity. We were talking a bit about the important issues that have come up, including racial biases within AI. So there are a lot of different racial areas for racial bias, including pale male data sets, including all of the ways that AI is trained. That can have very important real-world consequences, including not recognizing a person's face as being a face and not recognizing them as participating in their exam properly, or even not recognizing a pedestrian with a car that's been augmented with an AI system, such as a lot of the self-driving cars out there. So there are actually very real-world dangers to the biases that are within the AI world and the AI training data. We talked a little bit about the top voices. Joy Buolamwini is amazing. Van Jones, also amazing. Timnit Gebru, is that how we pronounce her name? She is so great, and actually I'm going to ask Juniper to explain a little bit more about her because she is in computer science, and so is Juniper, so that is wonderful as well. There are also folks out there like Christian Ortiz, who is less than amazing in my book. He says that he solved racial bias in AI with his platform that he invented. But as we can see, he did not fully do that. So, Juniper, if you'd like to explain a little bit.
Sure. I mean, not to compare and contrast Gebru and Ortiz, but Gebru has this whole wealth of literature on things she calls stochastic parrots. So reinforcing biases within systems to then generate sort of like an echo chamber effect for users. Christian Ortiz approaches this problem by saying, if you essentially like engineer a system to have this decolonial ethics focus by doing things hidden to the user to edit their prompts, to have this focus, then you remove the bias. But what actually ends up happening is instead of in ChatGPT, responses heavily biasing towards whiteness, towards Eurocentrism, towards white names in certain prompts, it heavily biases towards the opposite, towards POC, towards blackness, which is still a bias that you're never going to really remove because it biases in the language itself, not necessarily your model.
Exactly. So racism within large language models of generative AI is something that's inherent within those systems. You can't really get away from them. You can put a thing on top of them to say, like, no, we're going to skew it the exact other way and promote people who have names from the African diaspora rather than names like Hans. And because when we're looking at folks in Sweden, the experimentation that Juniper conducted, you look at the balance there, and you can prove that Christian Ortiz's tool, Justice AI GPT, used the opposite direction, which is not the same thing as removing bias. But it's important for all of us to look at these things and to be aware of these biases and to acknowledge these biases and to continue to learn and grow and experiment with all of these things. And we had a really wonderful discussion, or sort of, it felt like the beginning of a discussion. So yes, for those of you who we are making this recording for, who could not come synchronously, we hope that this and the slides soften that blow a little bit. Have a wonderful day. And we're going to stop the recording. And yay! Thank you so much for coming, everyone.